It's my honor this afternoon to present a SAIS's Distinguished Service Award to Dr. Sandra Adams, a woman, a grand woman, who is personable, poised, persistent, yet passionate. Fred raised his hand when I said persistent. And everyone who meets Sandra remembers these things about her. They remember her wit, her intelligence, and her infamous infectious smile. The Urban Dictionary actually says that if you meet a person who happens to be a gorgeous, sweet, loyal, sexy, honest female, you've probably met a Sandra. As my luck would have it, Sandra and I both began our headships at the same time in 1990, and we actually met about 4 or 5 years later. And what I grew to love about her was that she was always consistent, the same person each time you saw her, warm, welcoming, and always that same smile. It didn't matter if she was chairing a meeting, presenting at a workshop, or enjoying a social opportunity, you always got the same Sandra. She began her independent school career teaching Latin at the Summit School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1967. And with a BA in English and Latin from Wake Forest College, she returned to her alma mater to earn a master's degree in counseling and later earned her EDD from the University of North Carolina in Greensboro. As head of school, a position that she held for 18 years, she led the school to raise more than $22 million to build a library, an athletic center, a dining room, a classroom building, a playground, and she oversaw the renovations of multiple projects, including the junior high school building. She served on the SAIS Board of Trustees from 1994 to 2006, actually being in the role of every officer's position that SAIS offers. She was the treasurer, the secretary, the vice chair, and then from 2004 to 2006, she chaired the board. She's also chaired multiple accreditation visits, and she served on the board of NAIS, NCAIS, and she was the first female member of the Southern Heads Association and graciously sponsored me into that organization. In 2008, North Carolina Governor Mike Easley awarded the Order of the Longleaf Pine to Sandra Adams upon her retirement from Summit School in recognition of her 41 years of service. The award is for extraordinary service to the state, contributions to the communities, and extra effort in careers, and all of the many years of service to those organizations. And even though Sandra has left a full-time position in education, she continues to volunteer for several nonprofits and serves on multiple boards. Sandra, in Greek, your very name means protector or defender. So we thank you for protecting our children and defending independent school education, and we thank you for your dedication and service to all of us as well as all of our colleagues nationwide. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, past and present, I'm delighted to present to you the 2018 Distinguished Service Award.
Okay, it doesn't get any better than that. Let's face it. My whole career, I have felt fortunate, maybe even lucky. When I came to Summit in 1967, Doug Lewis was head of the school. He was the ultimate head of school. I had a chance to work with him for 23 years before I became head. Okay, I was a slow learner. 23 years later, I could become the head of that wonderful school. Probably after about 6 months of being at Summit, I fell in love with it. And you know how it feels to fall in love with your school. It's just the best. And 41 years later, I was still in love with it. The first day I was on Summit's campus, I met the assistant head of school. I could not believe his family was from Honeypath, South Carolina, where I was born, and nobody knows where Honeypath is. And I cannot believe that 51 years later, that same very good friend of mine is being honored today. What are the odds of a Bob Shirley being there the day I walked in? I never once felt that I was alone at the top. I know I was supposed to have. That's what I heard at all the workshops. You're going to feel you're alone at the top. Never one day did I feel that. Not even the day that our second grade little Abner, a vigorous, happy boy, fell dead in the PE class. Because the next day, his mother and grandmother came to meet with the second graders and walked them through the year, through that whole process. I never felt alone because I had the best staff. I had 2 associate heads who were wonderful, who knew how to laugh. Dane Perry, associate head, every Halloween dressed up in some crazy outfit out in the carpool. His best one was when he dressed up like me. Out in the carpool, and one parent was overheard to say, as she walked into the building, "Dr. Adams isn't aging well." I never felt alone because I had Fred Adams, my support and challenger, and he helped me make snow calls, for goodness sakes. And they were always good, except for the day he was out of town, so I will be forever known as Dr. Adams, who made us come to school with 2 feet of snow on the ground. Wish he'd been in town that day. I hope for all of you the joy of the career that I have had. I hope you laugh at yourself. I hope you make mistakes. I hope you know that someday when you look back, you were part of a school that made decisions that made life better for teachers, for students, for parents. I hope you love SAIS like I did. There are no better people than some of the people you will see today. Gosh, to be able to work with Kirk and with Marcia, I hope you find those people, and I hope you're as fortunate and lucky as I am.